Hi guys. Um, I wanted to start a whole nother direction of videos for the God Bless Freemasonry as well as children as well. I do have the page on Facebook, Empower Your Child. Now, for this one, it is a question with various people answering, okay? It is Celebrity Pearls of Wisdom. And the question is, what do you feel is the most enlightened pearl of wisdom you could impart upon the world? Now, I do have a few of these so far, and I'm all about looking for more celebrities that would like to answer this question, okay? Now, the first one I have here is Anthony Ibarra. He's a guitar player. It's absolutely awesome. You can find him. I mean, absolutely awesome. He's so cool. Yeah, you got to talk to him. You can find him on Twitter. You can find him on YouTube and Facebook. I think he's on Facebook. Um, Great guy out of Southern California. Currently in the band Embod. And then he's, also been in Sangre, which, I love my boys in Sangre, Um, Great dude. Like, he's cool. Break out the eyeliner. Side note. Now, for him, I just wanted to start with him because he's awesome, right? It says to at least listen, see from their perspective, and be open to suggestions. I think that's a wonderful piece of advice that we really all could learn a lot from. Um, the next is there are two ways you can go, your way and the wrong way. And when you realize it's not wrong, it's just different, things get easier. Amen to that, brother. I mean, if you think about it, it's not the wrong path in life that people are telling you you're going down. I mean, like in certain situations it might be. But I mean, just in general, when somebody has, something to say like that and you're not out, doing drugs or something, and that's what they're referring to, then it is a matter of, right and wrong in another person's perception. And when you realize it's not wrong, it's just your own path. The next, I'll get into is Glenn Hughes. Now he's an amazing musician on his own, but most of you might know him as the bass player and voice with Deep Purple. Gotta love Glenn. He's so great. You can find him online as well. And I really suggest looking at both Anthony and now Glenn. Find them on YouTube, watch some of their playing, and, you know, get to know who they are. Oh, yeah. I mean, especially with Glenn. The guy is like, he's a bass player, but he's a singer. And I'm not too sure which one he would consider himself first. I do believe, though, he might end up saying bass. Great guy. Now his pearl of wisdom is walk through the fear and be humble. Yeah. I mean, you're never really gonna get anywhere in life if you let fear control you. You have to go through it if you want to get to the other side. And that's not talking about the other side of, life and death. We're talking if you want to, get something done, you're afraid to do it. You'll never do it if you don't try. Stand up to fear and be humble in life. Now, I do have a couple more here. Just for now, I have two more. And like I said, I'd like to get some more going. So if any other celebrities out there would like to answer the question, please do. And flip back to the beginning and, you'll hear the question. The next is Pamela, my Pammy, Pamela Moore. A lot of you would know her as the female voice in the band called Queensryche. Um, Love Queensryche, okay? I've always been a huge, huge Queensryche fan. Um, I grew up listening to Jeff Tate, you know, trying to sing just like him. So anyway, Pamela Moore, that's my girl. Oh, I love my girl. Her music on her own, it's just outstanding. She, if you just listen to some of her music on her own, not just the new stuff. Go back into her catalog. She's got a pretty extensive catalog. She's doing good. Her music, man, teaches you to think outside the box with writing. And if you just listen, like for an example, Cross My Heart. The way that it's stunning, but it teaches you to write and sing outside the box. She's a vocal coach, and I have never had lessons with her. I would love them. But I mean, like, I can only imagine what this lady can help other people do with her voice and their voices as a teacher. I bet she's outstanding. I've heard great reviews, seen them online and everything, and I know her style on her own, with her own music and her own writing. That girl's talented as much as she is beautiful, and she's like a stunning goddess. She's gorgeous. Now, for Pammy, she says, don't take yourself too seriously. Learn to laugh at life. Take risks. Make sure you make mistakes, but always be sure you learn from them. Always forgive, especially yourself. Breathe and believe. There is so much you can take away from that. I mean, just so much, really, don't take yourself too seriously, and you gotta learn to laugh at life, because life is rough, especially when you're in entertainment, I mean, it can wear you down, so, take risks. That's, just like with Glenn. You never know unless you try. And if you don't try, you're letting fear control you, for one. But, I mean, really, you'll never know if you don't try. And breathe and believe, as far as always forgiving and, learning to learn from your mistakes. But, breathe and believe. Just take a deep breath and believe in yourself for once. If nobody else is going to, why not you? Stand up even for your own self if it's the only one standing up for you in your dreams. You know what I'm saying? Now, the last I have here is Sid Falk. You can find him on Twitter, and I'm not too sure where else, but you can find a ton of, stuff with him on it, on YouTube and everything. Sid Falk, I love the man. God bless you, I love you, and I would love to have that man as a drummer in my band. And, some of the other, like, oh, God. If I could have all of these musicians in a band for me, I'd be the happiest man. Yeah. Sid Falk, man, is a drummer, and I've been in love with the man since, back in the way of Overkill. And y'all know I am a huge, huge, huge Overkill fan. I love my boys. God, I love Overkill. God bless you. Now this is kind of funny, right? He says, as far as me and pearls of wisdom, I think the world is SOL. And he laughs. In a way, that's, that was just a little bit of sarcasm, to break the ice kind of a thing. But, really... It's true. He says, I do have one saying that I constantly remind myself of. And that's each person's perception is that person's reality. Now, we have covered in God Bless Freemasonry that very thing. Just not in these words, you know what I mean? Like that everyone says it's, what you believe becomes yours, like if you believe you're going to be the world's best artist, well, eventually along the way, it will unfold for you and you will become one of, if not, you know? Keep your eye on the prize if you want some prize. So I think all of these pearls of wisdom, and shout out to Sid and Pammy and Glenn and Anthony. I mean, I just think you guys are extraordinary. I've been a fan for yours for the longest time, man. And I'm glad you're fans of mine. But for these, I really think you can learn a lot from these pearls of wisdom. And I really hope that all the people all over the world can hear these pearls of wisdom from them in this particular video and think about it. If you need to, write them down, man. Play the video a couple of times. That'll help me out, but listen to them over and over. And once you start, realizing what they're saying, and then you apply these pearls of wisdom to your own self in your own life, you're gonna see a big difference in your life. I mean, I believe that what they're saying here is that powerful of a pearl for wisdom. So, with this whole video series, I'd like to do more with, like I said, if I can get more celebrities to answer the question, I'd like to do the video with reading them to you. And I think it fits perfectly in what I'm doing in my life. I really do. I'd love to get more. I've sent out a bunch of the question to many people, a whole bunches, and these are the ones that I've gotten to write back so far. So we'll see how that goes. But really, I think all of you can learn a lot from them. And if you don't know who they are as musicians, they've been some of my favorite musicians, like since I was younger. Not to date them, you know what I mean? But, I love them to death. I really do. And I recommend checking out Sid Falk with, who he's with now, and put two and two together when it comes to Overkill. But if you don't know who Overkill is, you're missing out. You're missing out. Yeah. Overkill rocks, dude. I've been a huge fan, like I said, since I was, teenager kind of thing. Got a huge painting that I did of him that I still have to finish. It's over at my grandmother's. I did that in high school. One of these days I'd love to have him sign it. And that was for the Years of Decay, which is still one of my absolute favorite albums. But then like you have all of the work that Sid has done with them as, drumming, and wow, dude, his drumming is sick. Yeah. But then let's get on more, like Pammy Moore, like I said, really check out her music. Like I'd used Cross My Heart as an example, just to give to you for her writing style, and how she writes, which would allow others to think outside the box with their own writing. That one is a mellow piece, like a love story. It's nice. So it's something that, like, even if you're not a hard rock fan or something, right? Like, if you think Queensryche is too hard for you, yeah, well, then you'd still be able to listen to that and think, wow, that's a really pretty song, and you'd understand. Check out all of her work. I think she's amazing. She's brilliant. She's absolutely stunningly gorgeous, and her talent is so much more than her look, But she's nailed the look too, because her voice is just sexy as all, I was gonna say the H word, and she is as well. She's got the look and the voice. She's perfect package for rock and roll, and her voice is outstanding. Glenn Hughes, his voice is outstanding. Listen to him sing, and then check out him, like a lot of his videos, they're not his, but videos with him all over YouTube, because you're going to see a lot of the musicians he's worked with. I've been fans of theirs, like for all these years. I think they're great, and I'd love to be friends with them. My God. But his voice, I mean, he's outstanding, and like his bass playing is great, but as a singer, Glenn rocks, dude. And Anthony, check out his videos of him alone that he's got up with him playing out in his garage, dude. Not just with him in bands, because that's awesome, but check him out as a guitar player on his own, because he opens up to other than the hardcore screaming metal that they do. You can hear like he's played Inve, he's played a bunch of stuff, and I just love the man. He's great, and he's a really talented guitar player. And now he hasn't had a huge long life, in music like, the other names have, and I wish them all the luck in the world when it comes to, being successful. I wish them all the success they can ever have, With Anthony, he still has yet to achieve, the highest of highs with, being a professional musician, and he's he's done a lot already. So he's paving his road, and I really think all of you should really check him out. He's a really good guitar player, and I would trust him not just for heavy metal, like serious metal, but I mean his ability to cover other aspects of music, other genres. It's I say aspects, not genres, because it sounds like when you say genre, you can't cross it. But if it's another aspect or another avenue for music, you can use anything, like blues and heavy metal. See, but I mean, like his ability is great. I would trust him for any type of music piece. Even if you were going to have him do something like jazz, I wouldn't say put country in front of him. Although he'd probably be, right there to do it, like talent wise, I bet you he could cover that like nobody could, almost like a Sean Lane, because he's a really good guitar player. It's just we're metalheads and you don't throw country in the mix. Um, so I love you, boys and girls, and I hope you're having an amazing day. I know I am. I've wanted to post this up for a while, and I wanted to do each one separately, but that would just make for a little short set of videos, and that takes a lot to upload. So I just figured I'd put these, for now in one, and go from there. Namaste. I love you. Rock on.